So good to be with you all in practice because we really need to be together now. The world seems to sort of pull us, and to be able to find our center, we really need to send each other to that place of center. So I was thinking about today that I was in a session, a spiritual direction session, and with someone who was addicted to social media, and she said something to me that just stayed with me. And she said, when I'm on Twitter, there's no room for God. And I thought about that, and I thought, oh, making room for God. That feels like what my whole practice is about. And at the time I was out in California, I was walking on the beach. And as I was walking on the beach, I said, oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm making room for God. And it feels like if I don't do that, then I will just be pulled by the world. And there's an idea in kind of energetic work that there are these two axes that meet in the heart. There is that horizontal axis that connects us to each other and to the circle that we're in and all the concentric circles out into the universe. That horizontal axis is something that's really important. But the horizontal axis doesn't work unless the vertical axis is established. And in establishing the vertical axis, we are making room for God. And we are connecting ourselves to both our foundation and the possibility of guidance in each moment. So I want to begin with a breathing practice that I do frequently that is called heaven and earth breathing. And its purpose is to create a space inside me so that the conversation with the beloved can happen inside me, not just with the world out there that's pulling me, but with the mystery within me. And in order to do that, I breathe into my heart. And if you're like a kinesthetic person like I am, you might want to use your hand to kind of just trace the flow of energy into the heart as you breathe. So you breathe into the heart. And we do this heart breathing for a minute or so in order to just settle and center ourselves in the heart. So breathing out of the heart, breathing into the heart. When that settling has happened, this time we'll breathe into the heart, and on the next exhale, send that breath deep down through your root into the depths of the earth. And on the next inhale, we'll bring that earthy energy, that nurturing earthy energy into the heart. And the next exhale will send that breath up into the heavens, into the wide expanse. And on the next inhale, take that wide expanse, bring it through the crown and back into the heart. So again, down into the earth, exhaling into the earth, inhaling the depth of the earth into the heart, exhaling into the wide expanse of the heavens, and inhaling that wide expanse back down into the heart. And as we do this, every time we send the breath down into the earth, we are sending it a little deeper. Every time we send the breath into the heavens, we're sending it a little farther and wider. And every time we're breathing heaven or earth into the heart, we're opening the heart to receive that, both the vast expanse and the depths. So we'll continue that for just another minute. We are establishing that vertical axis that allows us to take into our hearts this great expanse and this nurturing foundation. Two different images of God in the heart. And then in the heart, we want to establish a kind of a space for a conversation with the beloved. And I'll do that with a chant from the Song of Songs. And if you want to then share that on the screen to be able to see the chant that we'll do. And the chant is from this week's Parsha of Shir Hashirim. And it's about establishing that conversation. But first we want to make, we do that heaven and earth breathing to make ourselves available. And in the chant, we are asking that presence to be in communication with us. And we're making a commitment to show up and be in communication through the quality of our loving presence. So by chanting these words, we're turning ourselves, instead of towards the world out there, we're turning towards the great mystery. And that conversation is a kind of a way of saying, like, oh, this is where I dwell. This is where I want to live from. I want to establish this space in the heart. And then we listen. So this is a practice of commitment and of making room in our lives, in our being, for God's presence. So as we chant these words, find the yearning to go to that place, to turn towards the mystery. And in the silence that follows, we can sit there and listen and be blessed to be in conversation with the beloved through our presence and through the presence of God within us. Hagidali Shehava Nafshi into this chant. Shehava Nafshi Hagidali Shehava Nafshi Shehava Nafshi Hagidali Shehava Nafshi Shehava Nafshi Hagidali Shehava Nafshi Hagidali Shehava Nafshi Sheva Nafshi. See if you can communicate with the tone of your voice, your commitment to make a space for God. Hagidali Sheva Nafshi. Shava nafshi hagidali Shava nafshi hagidali Shava nafshi. Hagidali Shava nafshi hagidali Shava nafshi hagidali Shava nafshi hagidali Shava nafshi. Hagidali Shava nafshi hagidali Shava nafshi hagidali Shava nafshi hagidali Shava nafshi. So as we enter the silence, I invite you to keep your eyes closed, bring your attention to the breath, begin breathing in and out of the heart, finding in the heart this spaciousness that we're going to expand, making room for God, establishing the vertical axis. And on the next breath into the heart, pause for a moment. And on the exhale, send that breath deep into the earth, into your foundation. And on the inhale, call up that strength into the heart. On the next exhale, send the breath up through the crown into the heavens, into the wide expanse. And on the next inhale, take that wide expanse down through the crown and let it rest in the heart. So every time we breathe down into the earth, send it deeper Every time we breathe into the heavens, send it higher. Every time we receive heaven and earth, open the heart wider, make a space so that your life can be a conversation with the beloved. And we'll sit in that heart space that has been expanded and connected. And here we can say, Hineni. We can just be here and listen. And in this last couple minutes of our meditation, I invite you to return to the heart breath, breathing into the heart, breathing out the heart, out of that place of spaciousness. And this time breathing into the heart, feeling that expanse within you. And from there, sending the breath down deep into the earth as your blessing for this planet. Breathing up the blessing of that the earth gives us back. And then breathing up into the wide expanse, into the wide perspective. And on the in-breath, taking in that wide perspective, putting it inside the heart. And we'll return to the chant. If you want to show that hand out again, we'll end with the chant that says, tell me, I've made a space for you, God. I've made a space for this conversation, this great mystery. So if you want to share that hand out, Rachel. Can I open to the divine presence that is speaking to me through this world? Can I respond with my life?
Rabbi Shefa Gold, thank you so much. Such a beautiful practice today. And let's seal the practice as we do each day. If you're in mourning, if you're observing a yard site at this time, if you'd like to just join in the Mourner's Kaddish, you're invited to do so. Thanks, Rachel, for sharing the words on the screen. If you're not reciting Kaddish, please stay present for just a few minutes to support those who are. And you can put the name or names of those you're honoring in the chat either now or after the recitation of Kaddish. And if you are joining me, please rise in body or in spirit, and you can unmute at this time. Yitkadal, Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yalma Divrach Yute Yalmute Chayecho Yamechon Chaye Dechol Beit Israel Va'agalat Bizman Kariv Ru Amen.
Amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Kulmei
Almaya.
Barach Yishtabach Ba'ar Yitramam V'yitnaseh Yitadar V'yitale V'yitahal Shemei B'Torah La'ela Mikol Birchata B'Shavata B'Chata B'Nefesh Lamiran Ba'alma V'Yiru
Amen.
Yehi Shlama
Amen.
Shemaya Chaim Alu Yisrael Amen. Shalom B'Rama V'Yaseh Shalom B'Yisnu Israel V'Kol Yosei Tevel
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Friends, thanks for joining us today. If you're leaving us now, we hope you'll join us tomorrow or sometime soon. This week, we'll be meeting at this time as usual all week. Thanks to Rabbi Shefa Gold for leading us, as always, so beautifully today, and to Rachel Hugot for holding our tech space together. You're invited just to stay with us, to continue to sit with your own practice. You can turn the sound off on your computer if you like, and just stay with the vibrations of the chant and use the container of this time and space. Or join us for conversation. If you have a question you'd like to ask Shefa, please put it in the chat and preface it by writing question all in caps. And makes it a little bit easier to keep an eye out for the questions, but also feel free just to share anything you'd like to about your experience with today's practice. And yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that. Shefa, thank you as always. Really, that's what the spiritual doctor ordered for today. I have to say, don't have to say, I will say that I think that was the most powerful breathing meditation practice I've ever experienced. Um, and maybe somebody at some other time suggested also this idea of breathing down and up into the ground, up towards the heavens. But I don't remember experiencing that. And it was really palpable. So thank you for that. Imagine for others as well.
I've been doing that
Uh,
practice for a very long time, and it's a kind of a core practice for me because I realize that this yearning that I have to connect with the world, that it doesn't really work so well unless I have created that vertical flow of energy, and and so I noticed the difference that when that space has been established in me,
mhm.
that the quality of my connection is different in the world. It's like, and that's where I want to live. I want to live from that place that is both kind of supported and also kind of like that spirit of guidance is available to me. And in order to do that, I just have to keep opening that space within, and that's where I want to. That's where I want to live from.
Yeah. Not Twitter. Not Twitter. Okay. This is the anti-Twitter, I guess.
Yeah, yes.
Um, so there's a question. Maybe I missed this. I don't know. I might have missed this. Question to, would you say more about your words that we should, quote, respond with our life, having opened that space?
It's sort of like whatever I do or say or create in the world, the question is where is it coming from? And for me to establish that a place in me that is connected, that is
Mm-hmm.
not, that I'm not coming from my place of trigger or fear, but I'm coming from a wide perspective. And I have to keep working with that because
Mm-hmm.
my default place is to go is to be reactive to the world. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I respond with my life, meaning like everything that I do is a response that to that much bigger mystery and not just a reaction from the moment to moment things that are, sort of like bopping me around in
Yeah.
the winds of change. When I respond with from there, and to also know that there is the sense of the Shekhinah whispering always, when I make that space for her, or I have this funny image that like stays with me, and like being with a dog, and like you say something to the dog, and the dog goes like cocks his head like a certain thing. You ever see a dog do that? They just like turn their head like that, because they know you're talking to them. And so there's a place inside me that is like doing that. It's like, oh, it's like listening, and like the turning of my head towards that mystery with a kind of a sense of anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no what comes in is not content, you know.
Right.
It's just presence.
Right.
But if I'm not in the stance of listening,
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm going to start being the.
It's a kind of an inner. It's an inner quality like that. It's like,
Yeah, that's
and
fantastic. I mean,
yeah,
I imagine the dog owners here are eating that up, but
yeah,
I'm not a
yeah.
dog owner, but I really reckon, we can all
Like,
recognize
yeah,
that.
sometimes people who I'm counseling them, and I say, let your dog be your teacher. Just notice that stance of listening, that, and so it's just a certain quality that I want to bring to my meditation of what I call expectancy, which is
Mm-hmm.
different than expectation, but it's like opening up to a mystery.
Mm-hmm. That is great. Let's underline that, highlight it. Expectancy, not expectation. That's great. And let's put that on a bumper sticker too, for that matter. Um, uh, like there are some questions to Shepa, just FYI, about, you know, off uh, chanting classes, etc. I would refer people to your
Come to my
website,
website.
but I don't know if you have something specific you want to suggest to people.
What is the question?
Are there classes on your chanting? Are you
Well,
offering any chanting
every
classes these days?
every week I teach every week an open class called Kazoom, and we use the Parsha of the Song of Songs to send us to a particular theme that
Mm-hmm.
relates to the path of love. So we do that you can get to that through my website, and it's a community of practice, and
Right.
we need
Right.
we need each other. And it's not just about chanting, it's about like where the chant can take us, and
Mm-hmm.
then can we enter through the door of the chant into that place.
Mm-hmm. Um, uh, Question. I've been wondering if Shuva happens with less than the whole. Does return to our loving awareness happen without everyone on board? Am I asking the wrong question? Ron, I don't know if you can parse that. Ron, I'm not sure I can parse that question. Oh, if return, do we all have to be in on this?
Hmm.
Return to loving awareness,
We all
or
are.
can we bring others along on the ride?
We can inspire others by just
Mm-hmm.
being there ourselves. And I look at this project, a very long-term project of the transformation of consciousness of the whole
Yeah.
planet, that I'm doing my little part in it.
Mm-hmm.
When I do that, I want to be connected up to everyone else is doing their little part,
Mm-hmm.
and so that I'm not doing it alone. So, and I see like, I mean, it's been a challenge in this past week, but I see that all of us are on this path towards awakening, and we're all in different places on the path, and so it doesn't help for me to condescend to somebody who's at a different place on that path. What I need to be able to do is just be always an encouraging presence, to say, we all need to step onto the path of love every
Mm-hmm.
day, every moment, and there are challenges that we face each day. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Um,
but
can
it's sort
you,
of like how will we meet the challenges are there. It's the question is how will we meet the challenges, and that's the question I ask every day. Is like, okay, I'm waking up into a world that has lots of challenges. My freedom is to be able to ask, well, how will I meet the challenge?
mm-hmm.
Not not whether I will be successful in, making what I want happen, but that I can meet the challenge, in my integrity, with my loving intention, no matter what. That's the
Yeah. There was a question, by the way, Chef, in this handout sheet, and Rachel, if you can put the link again to the resource that has the chant, there's also a little bit of description about connection to Vayera, the Torah portion. But
yeah.
can you say a little bit more about how you understand that connection?
Well, it's so interesting because it was on an IJS meditation. When someone asked this question, I was bringing the Song of Songs Parsha, and someone asked the question, well, what does it have to do with the Torah portion?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what a question. And I looked and I made a bridge to Torah for every Song of Songs Parsha.
Right.
So the bridge, to be able to say that the Song of Songs is also illuminating the Parsha of the Torah. So in this bridge to Torah, I say, as Abraham, I am tested. I am called to open to the divine presence that is speaking through this world. Yes, I hear God's promise of wholeness, continuity, meaning, connection, and prosperity. And then I am called by life's challenges, illness, divorce, the death of my loved ones, the loss of fortune, the loss of meaning, the loss of the election. At each turn of this conversation with the divine that is my life, I must say, Hineni, here I am. Here I am, not knowing. Here I am walking in the mystery, expanding to embrace this paradox, trembling before the awesome contradiction of my faith and my suffering. I pasture my sheep on Mount Moriah, the mountain of seeing.
Mm.
So so somehow but the Song of Songs and the Torah, sort of come together each week, and speak to each other.
Right. I will say, by the way, I mean, I don't know that. Do you know of anyone who's ever done this before? It's just quite, from what I know, quite original, quite brilliant, and basically, it's really infusing and looking at Torah through the lens of love for people who don't know. And Shefa's app that we put um, in the chat also is really about to enable us to practice this throughout the year with each Torah portion. I
Well,
want to make sure.
just to
Go
say
ahead,
that,
Shefa.
Rabbi Akiva really
Yeah.
is the one who sent me onto this path, and because he asked this question, he said, had the he offered this possibility. He said that had the Torah not been given, we could live our lives by the Song of Songs.
Hmm.
And I was so intrigued by that. What would that mean, to live my life by the Song of Songs? And it felt so clear that putting love at the center was how I wanted to live my life,
Hmm.
and that the Torah alone was not going to bring me there, but that if I centered love, then I would understand the Torah in light of that
Yeah,
loving center.
it's pretty wonderful.
Uh,
Maybe we can end with one more round of the chant. Rachel, if you don't mind sharing it. I do want to, as we're getting ready for that, Chef, as we were chanting, I was thinking about all the different ways you could kind of read that that part of that verse. And it seemed I was feeling it that one could also read it as tell me that my soul is love.
mm-hmm.
Agida li sha'ahava nafshi. Agida li means tell me. And then there's a comma, usually it's understood there because it's a dialogue. Ahava nafshi, the one who my soul loves. Um, and it works both ways beautifully, I think, that our souls, our essence is ahava, is love.
And the purpose of it is sort of to come into this conversation with the beloved, like to let my life be
Mm-hmm.
that, to be that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So and again, it's you can't just listen to the chant. You have to sing it, and you have to pour into your voice whatever your commitment is, whatever the sense of longing is that's there, or possibility, that you pour that into your voice. So we could end with this. Kitali Shahava Nafshi Hagidali Shahava Nafshi Hagidali Shahava Nafshi Hagidali Shahava Nafshi. Let's do it once more. Hagidali Shahava Nafshi הגדולים שאהבה נפשי.
So many thanks, Shefa,
Thank
for
you.
everything. Putting in the chat, by the way, a link again to the Love at the Center app for those who are interested. Thanks so much to Rabbi Shefa Gold and to Rachel Huga, to each of you from being here. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Continue on our journey together. Many blessings, everyone.